welcome back to the Pulse of Willie and Al here. We are kicking it with our 111th episode of the Pulse. How are things going for you, bro?
I wish we could label this episode the one where the Patriots won the Super Bowl again, but we can't win them all. We got to let other teams win every now and
Yeah,
again. You
yeah,
know,
we do.
yeah. Six is a lot.
Uh,
Six is a lot.
we need to
But
cut that. I'm
you know,
not saying we. I'm not including me in that
oh,
statement.
you said it. You said
No, no, no.
we. You
It's
said
gonna
we.
get cut.
You're part of the team now.
Yeah. For those of you probably saying like two dipshits that missed last week, that was definitely my fault and technological mishap on my end. You have to press record. However, I think it goes without saying that we both picked the exact score of the Super Bowl, and we both our
Yeah.
predictions were everything that happened. As sad as it may be
Yeah.
for you, but like he said, we are back today with our Super Bowl recap episode. And this is an episode I'm almost positive you're very happy to talk about. So, uh,
I'm glad that we didn't talk about this Monday morning because you would have gotten a different riled up version of me. I'm now a more tame version that is ready to talk about this like an adult.
well, before you talk about it, I want to let you know something. So, uh, two things. My wife woke up in the morning, and the first thing she asked me was like, "Did the Patriots lose? Not did the Seahawks win? Did the Patriots lose?" And I said, "Yes, they did." And she's like, "Yes." Was very happy. And I also got a text from my dad. And this is just, I need you to know this, that this says
Sure.
everything you need to know. It's over with a smiley face emoji. And I just thought to myself, yes, it is. It is. So
Okay.
let's go ahead and start. I mean, 29-13
I'm
final
taking
score.
names.
Yeah,
I'm taking names. I just need you to know that.
you're like Ryan
Yeah.
from The
So
Office. I'm making a list. I'm keeping a list of people that have run
I,
for me.
I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Um,
Yep.
29-13 final score of Super Bowl 60. Seahawks end up beating the Patriots. Uh, but I'll let you kind of take the baton and run with it here.
Okay. So first I'm gonna talk about what a gigantic piece of shit I am. And I'm gonna tell you why. So every year during the Super Bowl, I bet on a team to get blown out by a ridiculous margin because it's fun and the last or let me run this back. So last year, I bet on the Eagles to win by 34 points or more. I threw a $20 bet on that. That would have paid out over $900. I was 4 minutes away from that cashing. Okay. So
Xavier
let's
Worthy.
so keep that story in mind. So, and if you're wondering, why am I a giant piece of shit? I'm a big New England Patriots fan. I bet that the Seattle Seahawks were going to win by 24 or more points. And I was real close to cashing that out. Real close to winning that bet,
Yep.
which would have been I think it was going to be something like $300 or $400.
Well,
So,
I mean, it was a weird game, I'll say. Like, I mean, even if you look at it
yeah.
from a half perspective, right? So like 9-0 at the half by Seattle. It was basically 19-0 in the fourth quarter before New England even sniffed the red zone. But
Yeah.
after that, it just kind of like Seattle was like, we got this, kind of. And then New England comes down and scores on that Matt Collins touchdown. And I'm thinking to myself, like, don't even. Like,
I was like, here we go.
don't
Here we go.
even tell me that this is going to happen. Because I've lived through the generations of the Patriots and seen miracles happen. But realistically, 29-13 was not what the score felt like in this game. Because
No.
other than 12 and a half minutes in the fourth quarter, uh, this game felt like it was a 35-0 just brutalization of the Patriots. Um,
If you just kind of look at the team stats comparison and you didn't watch the game, you'd be like, oh, and you knew nothing about the score, you'd be like, oh, this game was close. and this is a rare game where the stats don't paint the picture of the game
Hmm.
because New England couldn't do diddly. Like they couldn't. They couldn't do anything. And the thing that was like a couple things that were frustrating to me. One, the amount of times we had a chance to pick off Sam Darnold and just couldn't.
Hmm.
Like there were at least 3 or 4 times I was like, oh, that's a pick, and it's just like it's a drop or just like went through their fingers. Like I just like, and that's tough breaks. You don't get all the breaks in a season. Two, the other part that was really frustrating is for as good as our defense was, we were getting shredded on the run.
Yeah,
Shredded.
that's the one.
That was the part that shocked me.
It really, dude. You guys, these just had a very difficult time stopping these outside zone runs. And I mean, you got shredded on two in a row with 30 and 29 back to
Yeah,
back by Walker. And I think that's
yeah,
honestly at that point when I felt like if New England doesn't change something, this game's over. And it wasn't that I 9-0,
yeah.
the game's not over, right? Like Seattle didn't score a touchdown on those drives, right? Like they had these
Nope.
pretty good drives, but still New England held them to field goals. And honestly, it would have been 21-0 or pretty close to it at the half if Christian Gonzalez doesn't knock down a few balls. Because I mean, he
Yep.
played really well. He played really well.
Christian Gonzalez shut down JSN 100%. He was
Ye-
not a factor. And
Yep.
that's why you saw Cooper Cup being a factor
Well, and then he
and
went over
AJ
to
Barner being a
yeah.
factor.
Then he went over to Cooper Cup, and again, we didn't press record, so it's difficult to prove. But I did say that like the tight
Yep.
ends were gonna play a role in this game. I knew Barner was gonna do something. I just didn't know what. And I felt like he
Yeah.
would be a factor. New England did do some things well, by the way. Again, well, let's start with the things they didn't do well. Right, the offense just didn't look good, and you were right about the stats.
No.
Drake May almost threw for 300 yards, but if you look at that, I'd call BS on that any day because it felt like he threw for less than 100 the whole game. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, those were all garbage. Those were all garbage time touchdowns
Yep.
or garbage time yards in the
Yep.
fourth quarter.
I
Yeah.
mean,
The stat that was like kind of funny but really sad was I think it was the fourth quarter
mhm.
and New England hadn't gone past the Seattle 43-yard line.
Yep, I saw that. And that was kind of just super frustrating, but Drake May just got pressured all day. This line got destroyed by
Yeah.
a very, very good, best in the NFL defense of the Seahawks. Yesha, bless you. But uh, I don't know what's going to end up happening. They didn't make any changes. Will Campbell had a very, very rough game. Uh, just it was embarrassing to the point where Vrabel was fielding questions after the game of like, are you going to move him to guard? Which they thought he was going to be a guard in the NFL. He was projected as one, but he's going to grow. He's going to get stronger. Like this game, I remember Garrett Bowles, man. Garrett Bowles, one of the best left tackles in the league for Denver, was awful his first 2 years. Penalized left and
Yeah.
right, couldn't figure it out, and now he's no one's complaining about him now. So Will Campbell's
Yep.
going to get it figured out. You need steel sharpens steel, man. So you got to be able to go against these guys. They're not going away. It's better to have this against them, right?
I will say I think that like Will Campbell out he wasn't the same after that injury. And I suspect that he kind of rushed back from that.
Which is weird
And
because
because
they
if you
kept him even longer, dude. They kept him even
yeah,
longer through the bye. So like they were like, you know what? We don't need to rush him back. I don't know, man.
I just like and this isn't an excuse, but I the Will Campbell I saw at the beginning of the year like it wasn't the Will Campbell I saw in the Super Bowl in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say a thing. And this is just about our offensive line in general. Like I kind of had been saying all year, like our offensive line is not good. I've said that week in and week out,
Mm-hmm.
and that finally got exposed. Like remember the NFC Championship game when I was like, man, the Rams special teams is hot garbage, and it's been all year,
Yeah.
and that bill's gonna come due. It did. And that's what happens in the playoffs is like if you are really bad at a certain skill position, that's going to get exposed in the playoffs at
Yeah,
some point
even if
by a
you're
good team.
even if you're not bad, but you're below average, teams that are good at that position find a way. Like the Patriots special teams, pretty good, man. I thought that might have came into play at some point. Like when they were punting the ball to Shaheed, they covered him very, very well in this game. Like,
They're I'll tell you, Michael Dickinson, Seattle's punter, I might have been should have been MVP of that game. Seattle's special team should have been MVP of that game.
yeah,
Dickinson every time when we were like, oh cool, like we're gonna have like okay field position, he'd pin us inside the 10.
yeah. At one point, it was on the
You're
1.
like, all right, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There was like 3 different times he pinned us inside the 20.
yeah.
Like
I mean, if Kenneth Walker didn't,
two of them were at least inside the 10.
yeah. I mean, if Kenneth Walker didn't have the game he did, I think he would have been considered. That would have been really cool to see, like a punter win Super Bowl MVP.
I thought Jason Myers was going to be MVP for a hot minute. Dude, when you go 5 for 5 on field goals, like
And he set the record in the Super Bowl for it, didn't he? Or was
yeah,
it? Yeah, he set the
yeah.
record for it. I don't
And that,
know.
honestly, that caps off an amazing year he had.
It really
Like,
does. It really does. In a year where there's a lot of great kickers. Wait, the kicker from Jacksonville, what, Scobie? No.
yeah.
Is it Scobie?
Or no, Cam Little.
Little. That's right. Geez, I'm thinking of a
Yeah, Cam Little.
throwback. Cam Little.
Josh Scobie. Josh Scobie's
Josh Scobie, right? There's a lot of good kickers in the league, but the fact that Jason Myers continued on as he did this year, and had such a great season and was pivotal in a lot of moments for this team. Obviously, it showed big time in the Super Bowl. One thing I did want to mention about New England's defense, because I think they did do some things well. Sam Darnold wasn't
I agree.
comfortable. He wasn't
Nope.
comfortable, man. He
And
just
I
wasn't.
respected that's what they were. That was the game plan. Is they're like, hey, Sam Darnold's gonna fuck up, and he just didn't. But they
Yeah,
tried, and they came close.
they
They
came.
came close.
They
They
did.
just couldn't. They couldn't capitalize on it.
These runs though, that was the big thing, man, because like every time they were able to stop him, like Sam Darnold statistically did not have a great game. He didn't.
No,
I think he completed what, less than 50% of his passes, or barely over
he did.
50%.
Yeah,
Yeah, like it really wasn't
yeah.
great. And so they did a good job in terms of that, and then they give up like an 8-yard run the next play. And it's just they couldn't find that balance between it. I mean, it just,
That run defense in the playoffs was our bread and butter.
yeah.
Like we would get guys and we would get everybody in 3rd and 10 situations, and then we were like, cool, good luck trying to throw this on Christian Gonzalez because it's not going to happen.
But I think it also needs to be said that's not only on the defense of New England as much as I also think there's a lot of responsibility on how well Seattle's offensive line blocked, and
Absolutely.
how well Kenneth Walker ran. He looked like vintage Le'Veon Bell out there, just waiting. It looked like he was just perfectly positioned and on a mission to just be like, no, I'm gonna take my time, guys. The game is slow for me right now. I'm gonna take my time. I'll
Well,
find that hole, find that cut, and I'll be good.
well, it's funny because he like straight up like walks into the line when he gets handed the ball, and you're like, oh, cool, we're gonna stop him, and then he just like all of a sudden you're like, oh, he just ran for 22 yards, and you're like, I thought we were gonna stop him behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. It's so
So
different when you see how running backs line up in the back. Like Henry, when he lines up back, that hammer is coming through the line, right? Like
yeah,
he's not going to
and it's
hit
not
you.
gonna be fun.
Yeah, he's not hitting you. He's trying, not the front of you. He's trying to hit the back of you, right? Like through
Yeah.
you. Walker's not that way, even though he is physical.
No.
And they were saying like what a unique balance he has. A lot of cool stories came out about him, leading up to the Super Bowl. But like what unique balance he has from like the size that he is, the strength that he has, all of that stuff. It was just really cool to read about. I was a fan of him a couple years ago coming out of Michigan State. I know he was somewhere else before that. I think it was Wake Forest, where they said he learned how to kind of run like that, and be very
Yeah.
patient with his blocks and all of that. But he definitely had a great game. I was concerned that maybe that was going to be a problem for Seattle in this game because New England's defense, run defense especially, was stout and Charbonnet wasn't there. But he handled the full
Yeah.
load and he did a very good job with it. He did.
Yeah. Yeah, I really thought when Charbonnet went down, I really thought, oh boy, that's kind of weirdly, because like what made Seattle really good running the ball is they had the two-headed monster.
Hmm.
You're like Kenneth Walker is the guy that's going to run from the 20 to the 20,
Hmm.
and then Charbonnet is going to be the guy that's going to get you those last yards.
Yeah.
And when Charbonnet
And
went down, I was like, oh,
and also cover fumbles that we don't realize are fumbles in the end zone.
and that's gonna so that's something I'm gonna bring up in a second. But like, so I just kind of thought that like with it all falling on Kenneth Walker, I was like, oh man, maybe they can expose him, but like they just ran wild. Anytime that Seattle needed a first down, they just ran it. 3rd and 5, they were running it on 3rd and 5s because
Yeah.
they could.
Which is
Like that's
crazy.
yeah, and that's not the New England that you saw all year.
No,
But
also
also,
Vrabel is like that's not the Vrabel defense, right? Vrabel
no,
would take it upon himself to make sure that you didn't gain yards on the outside on those outside zone
yeah.
runs. But
And Walker was just getting stronger as the game went on, and you could tell it was starting to wear down the New England defense. Like
mhm,
they couldn't they couldn't get off the field.
yeah,
Like when that offensive line is pushing Milt Williams around, you know something's up.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, and
but
I don't blame them for feeling frustrated. Like one really hard look that they had towards the end of the game when Drake May was trying to make stuff happen and he throws that pick. And we'll talk about Seattle's defense here in a minute, but when he throws that pick, you can just see the look on the sideline of the defense, and they're just crushed. And you're like, man, like
yeah,
he was just trying to make a play. I'm not sure. I think he stretched too far on that, but like, at, still
I
at the
agree.
same time, like he's trying to make a play, right? Like they haven't had a chance to really
Yeah,
do much all game. He's hanging it out there. Like I respect him trying to put it out there, man. See if something can happen. But you could tell at that point
I'll
that
tell you.
the defense was like, we can't stop him anymore. We can't. We've done the
Yeah,
most we can today.
I'll tell you. The 3 turnovers that Drake May had were all back crushing. Like
Yeah.
they're just back breaking turnovers that you're just like, cool. I don't know how we come back from this. Like,
That fumble
yeah,
was something big. And I mean Seattle, they kept him and the offense. We talked about it in check for 3 full quarters. They let up a bit at the end, but they were really tenacious. And from a defensive minded head coach, or a defensive head coach
yeah.
like Mike McDonald is, he must have been proud. He must have been
Oh
proud
yeah.
because they did this all season. They terrorized
He
teams.
he called a yeah. He called a perfect game in the Super Bowl because and I think it was telling after the game. Like I watched a lot of interviews with Seattle defensive players, and they all just were like, they were so well prepared. It reminds me of like something Brady said after the Tampa Super Bowl that he won. He's like, I studied them for 2 weeks, and by the time we were ready, I knew what they were going to do before they knew what they were going to do. He
Yeah.
was like, it was like I had the answers to the test,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think that's what Seattle had the answers to the test.
Yeah.
And I think what's wild too is like they just always would send four.
Right. That was the other piece
Like
that was
that
mind
broke my
blowing.
brain. I was like, there's 5 of us and 4 of them. And they couldn't, and that's kind of been also Seattle's bread and butter all year. Is like they blitz, but like they do it with just the 4-man rush.
Yeah.
And so when they started sending real blitzes, it broke New England's brain.
It to me it was just
Like they were
really
sending like
surprising.
Witherspoon,
Yeah.
and like when Witherspoon was blitzing, they were like, I don't, we've got nothing. Like
Yeah. They're very creative with the way that they get pressure, and the fact that you got 4 guys that are legit up front that know how to be able to push around an offensive line and the stunts, and I mean all of the
and
defensive line tactics they were using. It bewildered
and
New England.
they play weird shit too. Like at one point, I remember seeing Eben Wari lining up as a D tackle, and you're like, what?
Well, so
Like
yeah, the crazy thing about him
what?
is he's a safety or listed as a safety, but he
Yeah,
plays linebacker. He can. You're right. He can
He,
put his hand down on the line and get up there and do stuff as well. I mean, he was an excellent piece to add for them this year. Excellent,
yeah,
uh, really was.
that
Byron
Ernest
Murphy,
Jones, man.
yeah, Ernest Jones was elite for them this year. This whole team, they played very well as a unit, and when you hear them talk, that's what they talked about, right? Same thing with New England,
Yeah,
right? Even though it didn't work out for New England, all of them kept saying like, "Hey, listen, we played together as a team. We played for each other." That's what you see with great teams, and that's why they get to this point. Um, I mean, they ended up having the 6 sacks and two picks and the fumble recovery on May, but like it felt like he got
could have
set.
been more.
Yeah, it felt like it could have been much more. Um, it
Yep.
just he was running in chaos mode the entire game. It really
Yeah.
felt that way. Quick question for you on this: Seattle, do you think like, and we look back at some of the good defenses that existed over the last, the last few years, right? Philly's defense was fairly good last year, played very well for them. You look even a few years ago, Kansas City had a decent defense, not great, but decent. You look back even to what,
Yeah.
2016 with Denver, how good their defense was when they won the Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
where do you put Seattle in this? Even Legion of Boom back when they played.
Well, I think it was really telling that they talked a lot about, they were just like, hey, Legion of Boom was its own thing. We're trying to do our own thing here and
Yeah,
get out of that shadow. And they successfully did that.
yeah, they did.
And I think what's funny is that this defense was built a lot like the Legion of Boom, where it was just like a lot of it through the draft, some really smart free agent signings.
Hmm.
The difference is like Dark Side, they actually like each other. Whereas Legion of Boom never liked each other.
Yeah, it's. I mean, and it's
Even
a.
when they were successful,
Yeah,
they all just, there was like too many egos. Whereas like Dark Side, they're all just like, hey man, I love you. Let's go kill someone together.
yeah.
And you're like, that's terrifying. Like,
Yeah. Let's do it
what?
together. Yeah, it was, and
Yeah.
I noticed as good as they were on defense, right? And it's they're renowned for their defense in the league. All of them came to Darnold's defense this year. All of them said, "Listen, he's our guy." I
Yeah.
mean, he wasn't spectacular on offense in this game by any means, but he didn't need to be. And I
They,
think very happy for him,
he had to
very
do just
humble.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of that after like throwing it in someone else's face. He's not that guy, right? Like
No.
it just him. I think he quieted a lot of critics. And regardless how people feel about him and his abilities and what they think he's capable of, the stats are undeniable. I mean, he's the winningest quarterback in the NFL over the past 2 seasons with a Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
I mean,
Remember,
and he lost the
remember,
offensive player of the year for what, half a game?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think it's like kind of, I think it's just like kind of funny that like, I remember you and I during our preview episode when we got to Seattle and we're like, boy, it feels like they downgraded at quarterback from Geno Smith. And like, man, they're getting a Cooper Cup that's like kind of old and washed. And two things. One, Cooper Cup in Super Bowls plays like he's like a maniac.
yeah,
He led he led the team in receiving yards in the Super Bowl again.
hmm,
Like,
yeah,
try to ever do that with different teams.
yeah.
And then like,
It's
don't
crazy.
like Arnold all season. Say what you want about the turnovers. Dude also put up numbers too.
Yeah, he did. And
Like,
regardless of what people say, like you need playmakers, whether it's at running back, wide receiver, tight end. You need guys or a good offensive line. You need guys to help you win. It's not just like, oh, one
yeah,
guy goes out there and does it all on his own. It's very difficult to do that. So you could say like, oh yeah, he led the league in turnovers or whatever it is, right? But like he also had JSN and he found JSN on a lot of passes this year, and that helped him get to offensive player of the year. You know, Kenneth Walker had a
I'll,
career
I'll
year
tell
with
you.
touchdowns.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I think my opinion on Darnold changed after the NFC Championship game because for me, watching him just go toe to toe
Hmm.
with Matthew Stafford, who was the MVP,
Yep.
like, and just like every time they needed a score, Darnold drove him right down the field,
Yeah.
and he drove him right down the field, like to get, you know what I mean, to put the game out of reach. Like
Yeah. One
that
thing I
says a lot about a guy.
I agree with you on that. One thing I did want to mention is there's a lot of people out there saying like, "Oh, the Super Bowl should have been the Rams and the Seahawks and stuff." Like, I hate that talk because many years it's been like Allen versus Mahomes in the AFC Championship game or Burrow and Mahomes, right? And then people are like, "Oh, and then that team gets to go to the Super Bowl." Well, it was fought the week before, right? It flip-flops between conferences. There's good quarterbacks in each conference. You got to beat whoever you play in order to be able to get to the big game.
Yeah.
New England did that, right? Seattle did that. That's why they played each other. But I mean,
Yeah, I like was New England's schedule really easy this year? Sure, it was. But I'll tell you, come playoff time, the defenses they beat to get to the Super Bowl, that's not nothing.
no, it's not. They had to do it. So
Like, and I cool thing that I watched like after. So the NFL, one of my favorite things to watch every year, and they usually release it like a few days after, and it's like a 45-minute video. It's the game mic'd up. So you
ah,
get to kind of hear like what everybody's like saying in the game and at that moment. And there's a cool spot like after where Vrabel, obviously he's doing his thing, and I can't remember who it was that just like hugs him, and you can see that he's just sad and bummed out that they lost the Super Bowl. And he's like, "Hey, we just played 307 days of football. We did the best that we possibly could. And if we're gonna be mad, we're all gonna be mad together.
yeah, I like
Like,
that.
be pissed together."
I heard that.
And I
Yeah,
was like, man, like that's a guy that like has been to big games and has lost Super Bowls. And
he
like,
he also said something really important about that. I think right after that, that like, listen, it's okay to be bummed out. It's okay to be disappointed, but don't go home and treat your like be that way to your family. Like they were the ones that showed up when you
yeah,
were playing the Jets and the Dolphins and all and the Bills and all of these teams. They were there supporting you. They were there supporting you today. Don't take it out on them. Right? Be bummed out.
yeah,
Take your time, but don't take it out on them. And I thought that was such a telling thing because it is true. It's hard to keep that in mind when you are really disappointed about something. Um,
yeah.
I got to ask you, where do you think the Pats go from here?
That's tough. They have some nice cap room, some cap space, so they
Mm-hmm.
have the ability to like sign some free agents, which will be good. But they gotta and they hit pretty well in the draft the last couple of years, and I
Yeah,
think they need to keep building on that. And they need line help.
they do.
They just do, and they need another receiver too. Respectfully,
Well,
like
AJ Brown could be coming your way.
God, no, please, anybody but that. Like,
Yeah. Listen, it could
but
happen.
I,
Vrabel's
I,
Vrabel's been with him before, man. He knows. So maybe he can get the
yeah,
most out of him.
I think the thing that I think about is that like next year is going to be a hard year because if you look at their schedule, they're playing a first place. They that got course corrected all the way the other way,
Yeah, I did.
and you look at their schedule next year. That's a first place schedule
It
that they're
is.
playing,
It is.
and I think there's going to be high expectations, and I think that like Mahomes is going to be back. Josh Allen is still Josh Allen. Lamar is still Lamar. Joe Burrow is still Joe Burrow.
Justin
Like
Herbert will be back
Bo
too.
Nix,
Go
yeah,
Knicks,
Bo
right?
Nix will be back. Like
Yeah.
the AFC is
Yeah.
a gauntlet of like that you have to go through. And I think that like I'm interested to see what happens next year. I think there's a step back because it historically the runner up in the Super Bowl takes a step back and it's a regression.
Yeah. Not to mention, you still
So
got CJ Stroud, who, how does he bounce back? What about Trevor Lawrence? Like, I mean, these are
yeah,
real things. Does Cam Ward take a step forward, right? Like, it's crazy to see, like, all of these teams seem to be loading up. And it's like, okay, so which team, some teams not going to make it. Who's that going to be? It's kind of nuts to
yeah,
see.
it's an arms race in the AFC with quarterbacks, and you're like,
Not
oh wow, there's legitimately in this conference 10 good quarterbacks.
not to mention a third of the teams in the league have new coaches, right? And I mean that's
No,
one thing we're going to talk about where the Seahawks go from here. They lose Clint Kubiak to the Las Vegas job, so now they got to replace him, but they're going to replace him from within.
so
It looks like.
yeah, I was just gonna say they're already. I think it's like their passing game coordinator. They're
Mm-hmm.
promoting him to OC.
Oh,
So
okay, all right. So they announced that. And I mean, the
yeah,
Seahawks, they started Super Bowl favorites with the Rams close behind, and for good reason, right? The Rams are going to have a good team again. Stafford already said like he's coming back, which is crazy, but like I can't wait to see another team of like another season of that Rams team. I think it's going to be amazing. But the
Yeah.
Seahawks, like things don't get easier now. Everyone's coming for them. Everybody is,
Yep.
and they want to be the
Yep.
team that knocks them off. They definitely do. I have to
It's
believe
easier to
that.
climb.
Yeah,
It's easier to climb the mountain than to stay on top
yeah.
of the mountain. Like,
They'll have some challenges with Kenneth Walker, Rashid Shaheed. They're trying to re-sign them. They have to make some decisions on defense as well, but I think they got enough cap room that they're going to be okay. And I can't wait to see like Mike McDonald with another draft, John Snyder with another draft under his, but like he's just they're brilliant, man, brilliant, brilliant GM head coach together. It's crazy.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so it looks like I'm trying to look to see what their free agent like. Yeah, it looks like they have some cap space, not a ton. So like they're gonna have to like you said, make some decisions.
yeah,
And like,
they will
but
though, and I
what
think
I
they'll
do
be okay.
what what I do know though is that like John Schneider's been there a long time, and this is the second really good defense that he has built. He's just gonna keep building. Like he's one of the better GMs in the league.
Yeah.
So like he'll figure it out.
D-
Like I'm
watch
not worried.
watch video of him for 10 minutes and you'll see why. Like he's just
Yeah.
and to be honest, it's not just him. There's a lot of good GMs in this league. A lot of guys that really know what they're doing. Oh, support
Yeah.
down in Arizona. He's awesome to listen to as well. Look at Holmes in Detroit. Like he's really fun to listen to as well. Like these guys really know what they're doing. It's a lot of fun to be able to listen to them and hear kind of their insight and guys they pick, guys they like, why they're structuring the team in the specific way that they're doing. Like it's a cool thing. But
Sorry. So I looking now, they going into the 2026 season,
mhm.
their cap space, they have 70 million in
Yeah,
cap
yeah, I
space.
knew they had plenty, but like it's
That's
crazy.
insane.
They could go out and even snag someone else, right? Like
But
or
like with yeah, they're gonna be smart with their money,
yeah.
and they're gonna give money, they're gonna pay the guys that they know they're gonna pay. And
Mhm.
like even like Darnold, like you know what I mean? Like we looked at it at the time, we're like 3 years, 100 million for Sam Darnold.
It's a
The
steal.
fuck? Yeah, got you a Super Bowl. That automatically that's a steal. Like,
Sure did. I think it also just lastly reinforces like what the team, it takes a team
yeah.
to do it. It's not just
I
one guy.
I would like I would like Seattle to get another receiver to pair with JSN.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing I want to see in the offseason. Them get another receiver they can go with him.
Don't forget too, they only had half a season with Shaheed. Maybe if they just move him to full time punt returner, he's or kick returner, like it's a good role for him. But he's not a bad receiver, man. He's a mismatch big time for people. But you have to imagine Cooper Cup's going to get older. Maybe Shaheed moves into the
Yep.
slot. You get another guy on the outside, like like LA has with Puka and Devontae, and then all of a sudden you're really cooking there. But
Yeah.
man, it could be a lot of fun. Anything else you wanted to
But
mention before we wrap up for today?
no, I just watching the Super Bowl always makes me I love it, but it makes me sad only because like that's it. Football's over, man.
It
It's like
is.
we're
I mean, we got
yeah,
to start.
like we
I feel like we've hit a back burner with baseball for a bit, so like I can't wait to start talking a little more about that, which will be nice.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Fantasy baseball, I'm back this year. I'm in a
Ooh,
different league that I'm not running. Um
which is amazing.
and yep, which is nice, and it's a dynasty league. So like it's a multi-year rebuild. I got left with a team that like to be honest, he's not good. So it's gonna be it's a multi-year rebuild. It's a multi-year rebuild. In fact, my team is so bad that I inherited that they're waiving the the member dues for this year because they feel bad for what I get left with.
Oh man, yeah.
Like, yeah. Like somebody like the league commissioner is covering it because he feels bad.
Wow, interesting.
So we're gonna take our lumps. We're gonna
Okay.
take our lumps. This is you know what I mean. This is a multi-year rebuild. We got eyes. I and it's one where we get to draft minor leaguers too.
which is really cool. I think
So
that's kind of neat.
and that is where I'm going to excel because I watch a lot of minor league baseball and I read baseball prospectus every year, front to back. So
Well, listen, I'm going to take advantage of you spending time on fantasy baseball and start with fantasy football prep to make sure that, you know, that even though your Patriots made it to the mountaintop, you will never make it there again. Um,
yeah, no, it's gonna be funny when I win multiple leagues of yours next year. That's gonna be
oh,
really funny.
man. I don't.
Oh man,
Uncle Raj may have something to say about that, or he may not. We
great,
don't know. So,
great.
oh man,
Yeah,
I think that's gonna wrap up for this week. But we will be back next week, or maybe the week after. We'll talk about it. But trying to give you guys
yeah, we'll see.
some updates on baseball coverage and get things cooking with that. But till then, man,
Yeah, man.
I love you, bro.
Hey, I love you too.
All right,
Peace.
peace.